Hey everybody, how you doing today? Hey Cynthia, hey Bruce. So it's just me today. Rob is traveling. Maybe he'll pop in, maybe he won't. Maybe he'll pop in chat. Um, I don't know. I know that they're traveling. I know that they're getting into Boston and getting home, and I'm not really sure what their timeline is. So it's just me. So it's just us tonight. Um, and tonight, I kind of wanted to touch on Imbolc and do a money bowl, and just you know, kind of kick that around for a little bit. I am not familiar with Imbolc, like 100%. I thought it would be a cool topic to talk about simply because we talk about all the other different holidays. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, New Year's. We talked about several times about like the Chinese New Year coming up and the year of the horse coming up. So I thought, well, the the next holiday, because we are equal opportunity, is Imbolc. Hey, Deborah. Hello, everybody coming in. But so the next holiday coming up is Imbolc. It happens on February 1st and 2nd ish. And in the past, in the days of old, Imbolc was to honor the goddess Brigitte and also just to recognize the the time between like that time between winter and spring. So and then we're gonna do a money bowl, and we're gonna talk about that, and we'll talk about whatever else anybody else wants to talk about. Hello, Elena. Um, I and so that's it. That's where I'm at, and it's Bridget, not Bridget. Bruce, the goddess Bridget. Um, so what I want to do is it's been a heavy, you know, couple of weeks, I think, energetically, and we didn't get to do the show last week. Um, so I'd like to do just a grounding, very short grounding meditation to start. I think we just kind of need to center ourselves, get present, clear our head, and shake off some of the ugly that we've kind of been witnessing. So, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and start with that. And let's see where that brings us and how we feel after it, okay? So, let's all take in a couple of really deep breaths. And really feel yourself sort of settling in. Let's let your shoulders drop. Deep breath. And out through your mouth. Let's let go of some of the craziness and yuck of today and of the last few days that we've been experiencing. And let's just imagine ourselves anchoring to the earth and feeling that energy up through our feet, or if you're sitting, up through your butt, up through your back, your spine. And let's just let it settle in us, and let it calm us, and let it ground us. And we don't want to force anything, and we don't want to fix anything. We just kind of want to let this energy come up and wash over us. And we just want to kind of add some space where we can receive and be calm and centered. All right, another couple of deep breaths. When you're ready, kind of shake it out. Feel yourself grounded. And we can do our thing. All right. So does anybody in chat know about Imbolc and what Imbolc is? I am really just an armchair quarterback when it comes to this. I'm not even a quarterback. I'm like third string, everybody else on the team gets hurt kind of player. So I'm going to do my best on trying to bring it to the attention of everybody, and everybody else who's interested can do a little more research if they want. But, it's really, Imbolc is really just a seasonal turning point. It's not one of these celebratory, dramatic sort of Wiccan holidays. It's really just back in the day, people needed time. They needed something sort of after a heavy winter, right? Because they didn't have all the distractions we had. They had darkness and food stores that are running out. And so they needed something to kind of look forward to. So that space between winter and spring, where the days are getting longer just a little bit at a time, people started preparing. They started preparing for the upcoming spring and making sure that, they had enough food to carry with them, and they had enough seeds to plant for the next season, and they had, all that stuff that they needed to begin in the spring something new, something, something to help sustain them for the next seasons. So, this is really a time where you're kind of realizing that maybe things aren't quite as dark as they have been, and it may still feel a little heavy, but we're getting back into that light. We're trying to bring the light back into our lives, right? And I think that, what people need to understand is that this particular holiday is not like a big New Year reset or super spring energy or anything like that. It's not instant manifestation. It's about setting up things and putting them into place for the long haul, right? You start thinking about, back in the day, they would think about what did they want their crops to look like, or what do you want your year moving forward to look like, or how do you want to set things up as you move through your year. Planting it in the spring, you're harvesting through the summer into the fall, and then there's that quiet winter time. And also it initially was associated with the goddess Brigitte, and she represents historically tending your flame, creativity, healing, protection. And she's really just a symbol of care, of creativity, and keeping things alive when conditions are harsh. Yeah, Cindy, you can light a candle to welcome the spring to come, definitely. But this holiday is definitely about preparation for what's to come, and just sort of giving yourself some hope that maybe the darkest times of the seasons, winter, that dark time is almost completely behind us as we move into a lighter time. I don't really I really thought that this would be a good time to do this money bowl, because the money bowl is about that slow sort of not instant manifestation thing, right? I know, Cynthia, you renew your money bowl. I don't know if you do it at every moon or every week. I'm not sure. How often do you renew your money bowl? So the money bowl isn't about that instant manifestation where you're writing your intentions down and you're lighting them on fire and you're wishing it and intending it and all that stuff. The money bowl is about the long haul, and it's about keeping it tended, keeping it refreshed, keeping it, however often you want to do it. You don't have to do it daily. You don't have to do it weekly. Like I said, Cynthia, I think you do your money bowl twice a month at the new moon and the full moon. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to do that and to create one of those. Everybody's always looking for um, something new for us to do. So I thought it'd be really great to do that. And if anybody has any suggestions or anything they want to talk about during in the chat, I'm sort of here trying to watch the chat and talk to you guys and do the show all at once. And that's not easy. It's a lot easier when you've got somebody else across from you who can take up that dead air when it happens. But I also thought it'd be kind of cool to pull a couple of cards about, what Imbolc wants us to prepare for or release during, as we move forward into it. So I can do that, and I can see what. I'll move my little camera over. I can see what Spirit wants us to know and wants us to prepare for and possibly release during this upcoming Imbolc. Look at this. I'm like all fancy. I'm like Rob fancy with this face down camera. Although I don't really have it set up as snazzly as he does. All right. So the Six of Cups. Let's see if there's anything else that. The Nine of Wands and the Ten of Cups. Wow, interesting read, right? So I think based on this read, the Six of Cups wants us, and this Ten of Cups, they want us to prepare. They want us to prepare for, happiness and joy, and maybe meeting. Six of Cups usually represents that your nostalgia, or maybe people from your past. And this Nine of Wands, although she's pretty happy in this Nine of Wands here, she looks pretty happy. Nine of Wands really isn't a happy card. Nine of Wands is well, you've kind of been through it, right? You're beat up. So I think what we need to release is that feeling of beat up. Release that heaviness, the hardness, and start embracing family and friends, and remembering the good parts of what spring brings, and the happiness when all of that comes together. So that's my thought. That's what I think the cards are saying to us, and what Spirit wants us to maybe focus on as Imbolc approaches. Yeah, I'm reading the chat. Sorry, guys. Oh, and Cynthia said she renews her. Ooh, Ace of Cups and Page of Cups. There we go. Lots of relationship. These cups, lots of emotion, which doesn't surprise me. This has been an emotional little bit. So Cynthia renews her money bowl monthly. So once a month she does it. Um, and she says she'll just toss a few coins in and light a new candle every now and then. All right. See if there's any other messages here as we go through. Is there anything we need to know about this upcoming Imbolc? Two of Wands and Four of Cups. Okay. So yeah, let's set our intentions and not get sort of melancholy about things that aren't going to happen right away. You're going to set your intention and you're going to kind of wait. And don't get put off by the fact that whatever it is you're looking for hasn't come to fruition quickly. You know, this is a slow season. Yeah, because you're coming up to the Ten of Pentacles here. Lift this up a little bit higher so maybe we can see something. No, I always feel like the cards get blurry. But you're coming up upon the Ten of Pentacles here, and also the Queen of Swords, right? So she's no slouch, you know. She's got plans, and she's going to carry them out. And she is not one to be trifled with. So yeah, and she'll wait. She'll stay the course to get these Ten of Pentacles. So don't be discouraged. Make your plans, set your intentions, and go forward. Right? All right. I've got my cheat sheets here, guys. Imagine that. Oh, man. Okay. So I think we're going to work on our money bowl. And I'm going to show you guys that I've got what we need here. We've got some cinnamon. I've got a candle. I've got rice. Salt. Sugar. Bay leaf. Some jewelry. Right? And my bowl. Now it's square, but it's the best I can do. And so let's talk about what some of these things that I've got pulled out mean, what the representation is for them, right? So of course your rice represents abundance and sustenance and growth. So you could also just use salt for, you know, some stability and grounding if you don't have rice. I mean, you don't have to have all of this stuff to make it work. You can use whatever you want. And also, if you feel like there's something that you can use that's going to be better, use that, right? So right now, you know, this is just what I had on hand, you know, and I've got some coins here too. I was going to go get, you can use paper money too, if you want. I just didn't get the opportunity to go in my stash and get some paper money. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my sage. This is my sage. Look at that. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to sage this stuff and kind of cleanse it. If you don't have sage, it's all right. Maybe you've got some rosemary in the house. You've got, something like that. You can put in a little dish and light it on fire and cleanse it with smoke. Maybe you've got some incense. You can cleanse it with incense. Honestly, you can just kind of do whatever feels right here. Use what you've got, because we're trying not to make this a big deal. We're trying not to make it hard. I just have all this stuff here because I wanted to show you that you can use whatever. I've got my pad here with my little saying on it. All right. So as we do this, we're going to grab our rice. Cynthia, your dog's going to pick your next lottery numbers. How does your dog pick your lottery numbers? So I'm going to put some rice in the bottom of this dish. I'm not doing a whole lot. I mean, it didn't give me measurements. It didn't say, use a cup of rice or a bag of rice or a teaspoon of rice. It just said rice. So we've got some rice. So I'm going to put some rice in the bottom of this. And we're going to set an intention for steady support and nourishment with this rice. Right. And then you're going to take your coins or your cash, and you're just going to put them on top of your rice, however you want to do it. Right. And we do this because we want a place for our money to land, rather than just sort of having it come at us willy-nilly. We want a spot for our money to land. So this is going to be the spot where our money lands, intention-wise, right? We don't want it just floating around willy-nilly. If we give it a place to land, that's where it's going to land. That's where it's going to grow, right? And as we do this, we're going to say that we welcome and are supported by money in our life, right? So you're going to put your coins in here and you're going to say, I welcome and am supported by money in my life. And you're just going to say it, and you can say it 20 times, you can say it once, you can say it a dozen times, doesn't matter. Whatever feels good again, right? And then you're going to take your little pad and you're going to write on your little pad. See, I wrote on my pad, money flows steadily to me and safely, right? Because we don't want drug money. We don't want money from things that we don't want bad money. We want it to come to us steadily and safely. And we don't want to do reckless things trying to get money to us, right? Or agree to reckless things. So as you're doing this, you're folding these papers towards you, right? You're folding it towards you. And you're going to place it in the bowl. And this is where you're going to put, if you want to add cinnamon, because cinnamon represents speed and motivation. So you want to add your cinnamon, right? You want to add your sugar. Sugar will sweeten your money energy. So you can add our sugar in there. And you can add as much as little as you want. You can do a pound of rice and a 5-pound bag of sugar. Whatever floats your boat, whatever it is you think you need, you can do, right? If you want to write your intention on a bay leaf and stick it in there, you can. I'm not doing that. I'm just showing you that I have them if you want them. Or you can just stick your bay leaf in there. And then I have this little piece of jewelry here. And this is my dragonfly. And you're supposed to take something that's significant to you because it's supposed to represent value and self-worth. And of course, we all know that, well, I don't know if y'all know what dragonflies mean to me, but I think you understand that they're important to me. So I've got my little dragonfly pin, and I'm going to put it in here. And it's going to sit in here because it's going to be the representation of my value and my self-worth, right? This represents me and how I value myself and my self-worth. Then we're going to light our little candle, right? Sorry, I'm getting the little incantation prepared here. Sorry, I thought I had it set up, but now I don't. There you go. Here it is. So I picked a white candle. I have a green and a gold one here. You could use those if you want. I picked white because it's pretty universal and it's easy. So now we're going to light our candle. And we're going to say, as the light returns, so does my stability. I am supported, resourced, and provided for. What I nurture grows with ease. Now, you can let this burn until it burns out. You know, some people snuff theirs out. Whatever feels right to you, just do it. I'm going to let mine burn until it burns out because that's typically what I do when I do things like this. There are certain rituals that I'll perform where I'm going to snuff my candle out, but this one I'm going to let it burn, right? And so I'm just going to move it over here so it's not in the middle of this camera any longer. And I'm just going to let it go. And it's as easy as that. And this is all stuff that you likely have in your house already. You can get as elaborate or as simple as you want with it. As far as I'm concerned, there will be people who disagree with you. There are people who anoint their candles. Cynthia, I think you anoint your candles. I think you put oils on them. You carve stuff in them, words or dollar symbols or whatever, right? You do something like that. I didn't do any of that with this. I have my little paper with my intention, and that's kind of what a money bowl does. And then, like I said, Cynthia renews her monthly. Maybe if she walks past it, she thinks about it, she'll throw a couple more coins in it or a couple more dollars or light another candle. It's really all about your intention, what you think, and what you intend for the money. This is a great thing to do during this time, again, because Imbolc is about that slow burn. It's about setting and preparing and setting the stage for the show, right? The big whatever. And a money bowl does that. A money bowl, you don't really expect that money tomorrow. You've got it going and it's there, and you just expect it to come in steadily, but over time. So that's our money bowl. And I don't know if anybody has any questions or if anybody wants to say anything or if there's any conversation we want to have. We could talk more about Imbolc. We can talk about anything you guys want to talk about. I can answer questions. I can pull some cards for you guys if you want me to do another reading, for you in particular. These are all my notes. But yeah, this is kind of where I'm at with it. And I appreciate you guys coming in and spending some time tonight because I know Rob's not here and usually it's a lot more fun and there's a lot more conversation going back and forth and there's banter between the two of us. But yeah, I mean, he's got things to do and we didn't do a show last week, so I really felt like I needed to do one this week. And yeah, I thought I'd just impart that knowledge to you, share some more of how I do the things that I do. I'm very simple. I do things very simply. I am not about elaborate displays. I'm about quick and easy because, I don't like wasting my time. So that's how I do my stuff. So what's going on out there in everybody else's world? I am curious. When we did, so I think the last time we met or the time before that, we did that where we took back our energy, right? And we gave back the energy to other people. I'd really love to hear some stories. I've had some people that I had been, who had really been in my energy a lot, that after that ritual, after that ceremony we did, they kind of, I still see them and I'll hear from them every now and then, but they're definitely not in my space. So I'm wondering if any of you guys you've had that happen when you did that ritual with us. Did some people that you were kind of hoping to shake loose? Oh, Bruce, how often do I change decks? You know how many decks I have. I change decks. I go with whatever. So currently right now, let's see if you can get this bird's eye view of this mess that is my area. I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way. Right now, this is my area, right? And it's hard to see, but I've got stuff here and there, right? And there's my camera. And then there is my stack of decks. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I just moved another batch that was sitting up here. 5, 6 decks. Right? And then this is an oracle deck. So I keep them because I don't always feel like I'm not always connected to the same deck all the time. Sometimes, and there are certain decks that, I know it sounds silly, but if there's certain energies happening or certain situations that I may be pulling for, there are certain decks that just call to me more. I used this deck for this show tonight because it's very sort of witchy. I think this is the Witch's Tarot, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is the Witch's Tarot. So I picked it because we were talking about Imbolc and doing we're discussing sort of a Wiccan holiday, so I picked it because I thought maybe it would connect a little bit better um, than some of the other decks that were not that are more uh, not as tailored to the situation. But if I'm doing like grounded, more grounding or grounded stuff, I'll pick a deck that's more earthy um, and use that. Uh, I have hundreds of decks, you know that. It's obscene how many decks I have. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. So Cynthia, you felt it. Was it a significant thing or was it uh, just sort of an easy kind of it fell away. The people fell away. They sort of just moved on to do their own kind of thing. Ooh, Page of Pentacles. Got some energy going on here. It's probably me trying to trying to talk about stuff that I don't really know. Oh, wow, Elena, great. Elena says that that the ritual worked for her. That since we did it, it's been crickets. Isn't that wonderful? It's almost kind of disconcerting, though, right? Because uh, you're sort of waiting for the big bad to come back. It's like, oh, it's quiet. I wonder what's simmering under the surface there. But I don't know. I don't think anything's really simmering. I think we were just successful um, in sort of just getting rid of what isn't ours, right? Stuff that doesn't belong to us. Um, I'm all about that. I'm pretty empathic and um, carrying other people's energy with me uh, could really um, bring me down, like really bring me down very easily. So I have to really be cognizant and be very intentional about doing stuff. Um, this last week has had me, I almost didn't do the show tonight. It's really had me sort of ate up in myself uh, uh, to the point where like I've got to get off social media and, and just stop engaging because it's starting to really bring me down. So I'm going to have to do my own sort of energetic cleansing and take some space for me uh, to kind of clear that out so I'm not trekking around with all that crap. Good, Cynthia. I'm glad that the ritual, removed that negative energy and brought you back your power. That was the whole thing. When you don't feel at home in your own like head and body, it's really kind of um, disconcerting more than anything, right? Like you don't know what's wrong. You can't understand why you feel this way. Sometimes you say to yourself, there really isn't anything happening in my world. It could be the world of somebody else. Um, but yeah, getting used to the new normal does feel very strange. It's interesting, but I was curious. I wanted to check back in with everybody and see what how that affected them. Did it affect them? Did it work for them at all? Was there did you notice anything significant? Um, Because I got to tell you, the people that I was specifically thinking about are still around, and I'll still hear from them here and there, but they are definitely not, they're not as front and center in my world as they were. So, and that's a good thing, because sometimes that drives my anxiety, right? I don't know about you guys, but I'm struggling to try and help people, and it's like a life suck. So, but that's my own boundaries. That's me and my boundaries. But anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up, guys. 45 minutes ish, unless somebody wants a reading. I can pull a couple of cards. If not, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. And if you have any questions, and I'll pull a card, Cynthia, if you want me to pull a card. I'll do it for you if you want. So just what do you want? What do you want me to pull a card about? What are you looking for? Six of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. I don't really do a lot of cards. We're not taking all those cards. Okay, let's see. What does Cynthia need to know tonight? Too many. Ooh. Yeah. So you're definitely coming upon some kind of transition, right? There's something that you're going to be letting go. Five of Pentacles. Yeah. Or you need to let go. That Five of Pentacles is all about loss and grief and fear. And that Death is about transitioning into a new season. I think you really need to kind of let go of that fear of loss. You worried about losing something? You worried about maybe moving into a season that's unfamiliar to you? Likely. That Death card kind of carries you over. Something's definitely ending. And you're definitely feeling the grief and the fear over it. But I'm not really sure what it is. Let's talk about this Five of Pentacles. What does this Five of Pentacles mean? Let's clarify. Three of Wands. So I guess you've been waiting for something to happen, and it hasn't happened yet. You're waiting for it to come upon you. King of Swords and King of Swords. I don't know if you feel like you were sabotaged, or you sabotaged yourself, maybe, with this King of Swords, right? Does this sound right to you, Cynthia? You're definitely feeling dejected. There was something you were waiting on that hasn't happened. And you feel like something or someone went ahead and, I don't know, put the kibosh on it, sabotaged it, got in the middle of it. Let's see what else. And what does Cynthia need to do about this? It's coming with this Nine of Cups and this Nine of Pentacles and the Strength card and the Justice. Whatever it is, it's on its way. And I think that that's what this is about, this Three of Wands. It's on its way. And the Justice card has it being in your favor. You just got to hold out for it. But it's coming. It's coming here. You've got this Nine of Cups and this Nine of Pentacles. It's whatever it is, it's coming. So I think that you need to change your thought process in the situation, whatever it is, and get out of this lack mindset, and maybe this mindset of someone or something intentionally putting themselves in the way so you don't receive it, because it's coming. You've got the Strength card, you've got the Justice card, you've got these Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. So it's definitely happening. You know, both of those are fantastic cards. Let's see about your grandkids then. All right. Well, whatever that was about, Cynthia, you just got to give it. You got to give the transition time to happen. It's happening. It's just, it doesn't look like it's happening in your time. But let's see about your grandkids. Three of Wands, Five of Swords. Yeah, I mean, I think they are. I think they're happy. I think that, though, I think there's some relationship things happening. I mean, I know they're young, so maybe there's stuff going on in the family. Page of Wands that they maybe are not aware of with this Moon card, but they definitely feel it with the Three of Wands and the Five of Swords. They're sort of waiting. They feel the tension. They feel the conflict here, and they're waiting. They're waiting for basically whatever shit to hit the fan is what's happening here. And again, they just don't know what it is. They know it's something, but they don't know what it is. And this Page of Wands is trying to be a little creative about how to maybe mitigate. The Lovers and the Knight of Cups. I don't know, Cynthia, there's some relational thing happening here, and the kids can feel it. I'm not saying they're not happy, but they definitely, I mean, this Knight of Wands kind of tells me they are, right? You know, they're okay. They're just sort of trying to mitigate it. But whatever this thing is that's going on, they feel it. They know something's going on. They just don't know what it is right now. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but you know, are they unhappy? No, they're not unhappy. Not right now. Not at this moment. They just know. They know that something's happening, and they're kind of waiting on it to happen. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that's good for you. It's probably not what you wanted to hear. They'll be okay. Here's your Six of Wands and the Devil. So yeah, I mean, this is just pointing to the situation, but they'll come out all right. With this Six of Wands, they'll be okay, whatever it is. So I hope that makes some kind of sense to you. I'd be curious if you could let me know. Even if you don't want to let me know in chat, you can text me and let me know if it made any sense to you. But all right, guys. Anybody else have any questions? They want me to pull a couple of cards for them, I can. If not, I think I'm going to wrap this up. And thank you guys again for coming. you can always, always, always message me, Facebook, Instagram, you know, and or email me. I can do a full-on read for everybody if they want. I can do some quantum healing if you feel like you need that happening. And yeah, I mean, we got that going on. And I will see you next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. If anybody has any suggestions, by all means, message me or post something on my Facebook page or whatever. But definitely, let me know if there's something you want me or Rob to talk about or whatever. Okay. So everybody have a great night. And I hope things work out great for everybody. And thanks for coming to the show. I know it was sort of a very low energy one today, but I think it was good. All right. So have a good time and have a good week. And I'll see you next week.